This is Pete Bonfils, and I live in Arcadia, California. I've lived in Arcadia since 1982. These big pieces here are from the world champion Dodgers. This is from 1955 here. This is something I really like right here. These are actual Ebbets Field seats from Brooklyn. This stadium was built in 1913. This is actually a Dodger Stadium seat that I picked up 8 or 9 years ago. I first started throwing batting practice back there in 1982, so the last 27 years I've been doing it now. I've had forearm operations. My shoulder's been bothering me a little bit lately, but I think I'll get through it. Last year, you know, the Dodgers picked up Manny at the end of July. They put me in his group the first day out there. They must have had 150 reporters out there, and I threw to him, and it was a great thrill. He smiled, says, "That was great. That was great, BP," so that made me feel good. He was in the group, Jeff Kent and Andrew Jones, and Jeff Kent has over 500 doubles, Manny Ramirez over 500 home runs, and I think Andrew Jones has close to 400 and some home runs. Pretty big group there. It's pretty exciting for me. I think I was fired up like a 12-year-old today. About 15 years ago, I purchased a townhome. We're upstairs in the family room here. All these baseball cards have autographs on them, including Jackie Robinson, Roy Campanella, Duke Snider. The Dodgers came to LA in '58. The very next year they won their first championship in 1959 at the Coliseum. And then I have one more from 1963 when the Dodgers won the first championship at Dodger Stadium when they beat the Yankees 4 straight. And of course the big two, Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale. My best friend in high school, his dad worked for the Dodgers. One day one of the ball boys was sick and I got to be the ball boy. Well, I wound up getting a job there the very next year, 1970. I had a pretty good arm. I played high school baseball at Pasadena High School. So I was just messing around throwing batting practice. The next year, the catcher on the team got traded to the Angels, Jeff Torborg. They said, "Why don't you come down to Anaheim Stadium and throw for the Angels down there when the Dodgers go on the road?" So I went down there, and 3 days later, an Angel scout saw me and signed me. So I wound up pitching 11 years in the minor leagues. When that was over, I went back to Dodger Stadium and they hired me to throw batting practice again. That was like 28 years ago in 1982, and I've been doing it ever since. Seasonal part-time job. I have another job where I've worked. I work for Young's Market Company, a big distilled spirit wholesaler that's been around over 100 years and been very accommodating to me and allowed me to do both. I was collecting stuff all along and finally put everything together. I love the Brooklyn Dodgers. These are pictures from the 50s that are autographed. That's Roy Campanella up there. This is like a 3D cardboard piece put out by Schaefer Beer. And then this display case just has buttons from Brooklyn and from LA. This is a vending machine from the 60s. It's a newspaper article that's autographed by Babe Ruth in a Dodger uniform. He was a coach for Brooklyn Dodgers in 1938. Autographed picture out of Sport Magazine of Mickey Mantle with all 16 World Series home run ticket stubs. This is Koufax, my favorite player, pitching to Roger Maris in Game 1 in '63. His World Series ticket stubs. He was in 8 games and had an .095 ERA. The World Series ring is kind of special to me because I actually have a World Series ring. 1988. Kind of is the same ring, but it's got most of the stars that played: Kirk Gibson, Oral Hershiser. That's a picture of Casey Stengel, his manager of the Mets. And this ticket stub here I actually got signed myself in 1968. He used to live in Glendale. This is 1971. That's Walter Alston. He's a Hall of Fame manager. And that's taken in 2009, the exact same place. This year, as you know, Manny was suspended, and then he actually asked for me every day, wanted to hit off of me. Talk about a lot of fun. Being out there throwing to him one-on-one. I'd throw fastballs and curveballs, and then I wouldn't tell him when I was throwing, and that was a lot of fun. He actually swung and missed at one curveball. Right. The other 15 he hit up in the left field pavilion, so that was a lot of fun for me.